Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Against the Grain. It's our first episode.
This is not Against the Grain.
You know what? Screw you. This
No.
is called, I'm joking. It's a joke.
You didn't do it right.
It's a joke. We're going to focus on comic books and...
Everyone drop in the chat your favorite superhero.
Boom, go.
My name is Nick Baldwin.
Hello, Nick.
This is my crazy, but I don't know what you want to call him, but Tristan Ahumada. Welcome to the organization webinar. People are dropping in the chat. Scarlet Witch, Wonder Woman, Thor, Wolverine, Wonder Woman, Scarlet. Wow, Scarlet Witch is like favorite.
Dude, yeah, interesting. Anson loves that's her favorite. That's his favorite.
Hello, all. Dennis from Albany. I'm not familiar with that superhero, but Dennis from Albany sounds pretty awesome. Let's get started. So, wow, we got a lot of people on this call today. Batman, She-Ra. Wow, there you go. Call out to She-Ra.
A long time.
It's about time someone said. Ramon says Razor Ramon.
Wow, that's been a while.
Chuck Gallup's got to be different. Greatest American hero. Okay. Welcome to the organization. We're going to talk today about internet leads and the three different sources of internet leads and how you follow up specifically for each one in a different way. So we're going to start, and they're at different points in the funnel. So you have like top of funnel being Facebook, middle of funnel being Google, bottom of funnel being the Zillows and the Realtor.coms of the world. So where do you want to start, Tristan? You want to start at the bottom or the top?
We
started from the bottom. Now we get the top.
Let's start by rapping. How's that?
We started from the bottom. Now we here.
Let's explain the funnels first.
Good idea. You
top, middle funnel, and bottom funnel. That's really what we typically see. And really quick, top of funnel just means we can get a lot of these types of leads, online leads. And that means they're just going to have to be nurtured for a longer period of time. That's typically top. And typically it's Facebook lead ads and some social ads where they're being run, not organic, because organic is different. These are paid ads. Middle, we typically see Google PPC, Google pay-per-click. Those are closer to transact. They're still a few months out. And then at the bottom, we typically see the portal leads, Realtor.com, Zillow. In some cases, some of those referral companies like Ojo leads and those. Chuck says greatest American hero.
I know. I already said that. He said that. I already said that. He said that. Okay. So anyway,
dude, there's a delay of like 5 minutes on my end.
Focus.
Delay.
Focus. So then what? Then what do we have?
So I'd say we start with Facebook and
let's do it.
And just go from there. Just so people
Facebook, A lot of people say to us, should we invest in Facebook leads? Should we invest in Facebook leads? I mean, listen, I think if you're going to invest in Facebook leads, we got to discuss some expectations, because there's a good chance you're going to get a lot of them for a very good price. But what you have to understand is Facebook on a good day has a 1% conversion rate. So if you're generating 100 leads on a good day, maybe you'll close one of them. But it's going to be a really great ROI regardless. Well, on average, Tristan, how much is a Facebook lead?
Nationally, we're looking at about $8 a lead nationally.
Okay.
Different areas, different specifically to real estate. But we've seen as little as under $1 easily.
Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, it really
some
depends.
Platforms you might use. Some platforms like Ylopo could lower your cost a little bit to like $3 or $4. But if you're going directly through Ads Manager, it's probably going to be a little higher, you think? Or also depends on how much money you're spending.
And it also depends on the type of information that you're asking for.
True.
Right. So I
So if
think
you're asking
that,
questions, when people
yeah.
opt in, the more questions you ask, the higher your cost per lead is going to be, because more questions will definitely weed out some people, which could be a good thing, right?
Yeah,
Could be a
very,
good thing.
very true. And I'm trying to see if I can log on to the back end of Business Manager really quick so I can just showcase an ad and
Okay. So while you're
do
doing
that.
that, I'll just discuss, like, you got to have expectations. So on a good day, like I said, Facebook lead conversion is 1, maybe 1.5%. But if you're spending, $500, and you generate a couple hundred leads and you're able to close 1 or 2 of them, it's still a good return on investment, no matter how you look at it. You just have to have the right expectations. Like I always say, when people say the leads suck, the leads suck, the leads suck, it's really not about the lead sucking. It's more about, your follow-up, what you're saying to Facebook leads. So I'll talk a little bit about, and by the way, if you get into your ads manager, let me know, just cut me off.
Yeah, no problem,
The,
dude. I'm
the
almost there.
follow-up with Facebook leads is a much more passive. Yeah. Gene is asking for examples of productive ads. Yeah. Tristan's logging in to take a look to show
I'll
it.
show you everything so you guys can see this. But
Show us all of it.
I mean,
What I was saying, the follow-up with Facebook leads has to be more passive. And we'll get into more aggressive when it comes to Zillow. But you have to understand, though, with Facebook leads, they're not requesting to see a home. I mean, in some instances they could, if you're using a set an appointment feature or something along those lines. But for the most part, you're going to use a learn more when they're actually just looking for information about the home. So if you're going to call or text and you're going to say something like, "Hey Tristan, this is Nick with EXP. How you doing today? When would you like to see 123 Main Street?" That's for most Facebook leads. I say like 9 out of 10 is going to be too forceful. So what I typically say, if it's a text or a phone call, "Hey Tristan, this is Nick with EXP Realty. I noticed you looked at 123 Main Street on our Facebook ad. Thank you so much for doing that. I was just curious what you liked about the house." Something along those lines. Or is that the type of home that you're looking at? Or what didn't you like about that property? Or is that area that the home is in an area that you're interested in? You want to start to find information out. It's a fact finding mission, not don't go in there with the expectation of setting the appointment. I mean, if you do, great, but it's really to find out information and have a conversation.
you got it, man. That's it. And then I couldn't log into the third portion of showing the questions, but I did want to share with you. Somebody did ask, well, what does this look like if we go to seeing other ads? And let me just share this link with you. Facebook makes this really easy for you to take a look at competing ads. Let me drop this link into the chat so you have this. Everyone, please save this link, bookmark it, because this, if you're running Facebook ads or at least comparing what's available, you go here and you click on an ads category. You want to go to housing, and then you pick a city. Let's pick, for me, it's going to be, let's pick Los Angeles. And then when I click on Los Angeles, I can take a look at all the ads going back to 2018. And I can scroll through and I can take a look at what my competition is looking at. If I want to filter this out and go over on this section, let me just move my video screen. I can choose and check, well, what advertisers do I want to go up against or check, right? And if it's in LA, I'm probably, let's just pick, let's see what Douglas Elliman is running.
This is cool because this lets you see, what your competition is doing.
Yeah. And if I go on Douglas Elliman, I can take a look at what ads they're running. And I can see, well, let's see if any of those are appealing or what can we learn from them, right? And then if not, if we want to just pick a bigger audience, we can just go back to all, right? And I typically start with all and then go from there. And then you can go to media types, you can go to videos, images. I like to take a look at, apply the filters. I like to take it all, look at all, and then see, okay, what stands out visually? Because you won't get all the details, but if I click on something, let's just click on this compass one right here. And where does this take me? I'd like to know, right? And then you can see it takes me to the website and it gives me all this other information. And you can really see really deep information as to how they're running their ads or what companies are using to host the links to, which is important. And that's why I wanted to show you the back end of the ads, but I couldn't get to the third section of that either. So sorry about that. Well, hold on. Let me go back.
These people didn't pay $1 to be here, and you can't pull this up.
Let me try the ads really quick. So I'm on the back end of Facebook. I'm going to go to create a lead ad.
Oh, cool. Let's show us how to do it.
And I'm going to go really quick through this. So I'm not going to, the special category is housing. So it makes it easy, right? In the US. And you have to choose that. That way your ad doesn't get blocked. I'm going to the second section of this. Where does a conversation want to take over? It wants to take over on Messenger. Sure, let's just keep it on Messenger. What do I want to see if I can? I have this access to run ads for success here, but probably not going to run that. Let's go with lab coat agents. Let's have a daily budget of $20. Sure, we're not going to really run through this. I'll create a new audience. Do I want to create a new audience or use a saved audience? Let's go for a location in, where should we go on location? Nick, should we go all of the United States? It's kind of wide, right?
All over the globe.
Let's edit this and pick.
Just put Detroit, Michigan.
Let's put Detroit, Michigan. Let's see what it gives me when I click on Detroit.
Oh, you got to do. Oh, that's weird. Maybe you can only do oh, there you go.
There it is. Yeah. Just finicky. So there gave me that radius. I can't go less than 15 miles. It's fine. Advanced detail targeting. I don't want to go into that. Advantage placement. Just keep it there. You don't want to do manual placement for now unless you know what you're doing. And
a lot of times Facebook will have a default placement. And if you haven't done this before, just keep it as the default.
Yeah, I love this. And look, Chuck's saying if you need street text after this, text him. That there are companies out there who do part of this for you, but the challenge is that I'm glad I got to the third section, Chuck, because this is the key right here. And then I'll show you a little flow chart so you understand. These are the ads. They're going to show you different types of ads for your feeds, right? Instagram stories, Instagram, Facebook Reels, all that. Now I'm going to scroll down, and this is really the key to being able to grow with this. You see this form right here where it's saying first name, last name, phone number. This becomes extremely important because we want more information than that. We want more information so that we're able to capture as much as we can. And you see here, if they cycle through this, there's a privacy policy, and then thanks, you're all set up. That's what we typically see. What we want to add is we want to add other questions here. And this is where we start getting the best information. Right, here are the questions, and we can say, well, let's do a multiple choice one. Sure, let's do that. First multiple choice question is, do you need to sell a home before?
Now this is where
purchase?
This is where your cost per lead is going to go up, but you might be a big fan of quality over quantity, which I am. I just wouldn't ask like 10 questions.
No, you stick to 3. You add 3 questions, 2 or 3. You see how this is how it starts appearing. Do you need to sell a home before you purchase? Yes.
So someone's asking a really good question. And I'll answer this. Jocelyn's asking if you're using Command with Keller Williams, should you use Command or this? Well, it just depends. Command Facebook lead generation isn't as advanced as this. Like, you can't ask questions.
Yeah.
The
You
placement's
can't,
a little bit different. It's much simpler, but you can't ask more qualifying questions.
no, that's the biggest challenge, because now if we go back, I'm going to just close this lead form. If we go and take a look at now our chart, and we take a look at the online lead process, where the leads are coming in from Google and Facebook, and they don't have a questionnaire to answer. All of a sudden, it's just like, hey, your name's Nick Baldwin. Here's your phone number and email. And that's it. You don't have any other information except what ad they came from. And that becomes a problem, because if they're dumped into, let's go into Follow a Boss really quick so we can show you. Follow a Boss, log in. If I'm going into Follow a Boss and I take a look at any of the leads that I've gotten just over the last few days, let me just move my screen over. If I go to people, so Follow a Boss account, 74,000 contacts on this. Let's go to Richard Rios. That one looks like it.
Love that guy.
Communication came in 4 months ago. If I scroll all the way down to the bottom, when they first came in, take a look at this. These are all the questions that were answered, right? First of all, he gave me his address. Next,
always a good
plan
sign.
to buy, 4 to 6 months. Cash alone, cash. Sell before buying, yes. And look at all of the answers. Now when I'm calling him, I'm able to understand better where he's at.
Now this is from Google PPC, and why that was a Ylopo lead.
You got it. And if it's a Facebook one, they'll have 3 questions answered. Yeah. We can have them answer more.
Sure.
But typically when they're on Facebook, Nick's right. We don't want to bombard them with a whole bunch of questions. But we do need questions.
Someone's asking, is KV Core or follow-up better for lead capture? I mean, like, it just depends, because Follow-Up Boss is a standalone CRM. So you can connect Follow-Up Boss to any website or that type of platform. Whereas KV Core, you got to use the KV Core website. I'm not as familiar with how KV Core works in terms of Google lead generation. Are you, Tristan?
Yeah, they're actually decent. I would say, let me stop sharing and then I'll come back to this.
Yeah.
If you have KV Core, I would suggest that you don't run ads, Google PPC through them. We've tested them out recently, and what we've tested out is that the Ylopo Google PPC is definitely better because of the questions. It all comes down to the questions. And look, command is great, but the challenge is that the questions, you don't get any option for questions. Like, we can't dig deeper into the actual client.
No. There's a lot more follow-up when it comes to that. Blake is asking about Chime PPC. Well, Chime, you can use Ylopo with Chime.
Yeah, Blake, Chime's PPC is pretty decent. Actually, they've gotten better. Our friends, Nick Lucido, the Lucido group, they use Chime, and they worked really closely with Chime to modify their Google PPC. So it's gotten significantly better.
So let's jump into, while we have some time, so we went over Facebook. We talked about the follow-up. You have to also understand with Facebook, the follow-up is going to be typically a lot longer. People on Facebook are, in some cases, 18 months out in the process. So you got to have that long-term follow-up in place. So if you're using a Follow-Up Boss or a Chime or a KV Core or even a Command, you want to make sure that you've got some automated plans in place to continuously keep the dialogue going. It's going to take a lot longer to convert those leads, but when you do, there's a really good return on investment. I always say, think about it like this. If you invest, I don't know, $3,000 to $5,000 a year in running ads on Facebook, the ROI is going to be there. I mean, unless you completely suck at like talking to people, the ROI is going to be there, right?
I agree.
Let's jump into Google. So Tristan, talk about the follow-up process with Google. Like, it's not as long as Facebook, but a little longer than Zillow typically. So tell us about it.
So Google, they're in the middle, and I use the similar flow chart just because, like I said, they're similar in the way that you communicate with them because they're both not ready right now in comparison to Realtor.com. What we like to do is, if you're the one calling right here, you can see the agent or the ISA. What we typically do is we try to find out as quickly as possible where you're at, right? And we do that because when we have information like I showed you, we have on Follow Up Boss, and we capture all of that, we can at least talk to them and understand. Okay, got it, Nick. You're looking 6 months out. Well, tell me a little bit more about why are you moving out here, and then they tell you, right? So the nurturing, though, depending on their answer, because we also have automation come into play. The nurturing, we have them set up a home search. It happens automatically on Ylopo and Chime, right? And it also happens automatically on KV Core. But really, after our conversation, we then decide, where are they? Are they an AB ready to purchase now in the next 3 months? Are they 3 to 6 months out? Or are they 6 to 12 months out or longer? Right. And depending on where they're at, we just turn that on so that they're nurtured in that way. And one of the other things that happens in between here is that they're targeted. They're retargeted through Ylopo or through Chime. And for us, that's extremely important. So we've noticed that a lot of these leads that come through that are Google, they're being nurtured. And look, I don't know if a lot of you know this. I know some of you do that follow us, but if we go to Google, just go to Google with me. And let's go to Detroit homes for.
Go to Google. Did you just ask everyone out on a date, Tristan?
Yeah, it's homes for sale. Homes for sale in Detroit, Michigan. Let's see what happens. Now, we've got 4 ads at the top. We've got Zillow. We've got CoStar, because they own homes.com. We've got Realtor.com. And we've got Redfin.com. Those are our biggest competitors in the United States. And what they're doing is they're using Google PPC to nurture the leads and push them in through their website and then sell them to you for, in some cases, I've seen 20x the price of what they're paying or more. And so instead of doing this, we've decided to just run our own ads and nurture. And so, yes, they're doing the nurturing for you because most agents are terrible at doing the nurturing. But if you're not, right, then just jump in and Google PPC and beat the competition here. Because look, this is nuts. Zillow, Homes, Realtor.com, and Redfin. This is your competition. They're selling you the leads. So our suggestion is get better at nurturing your Google leads. Make sure you have higher quality leads that are asking questions. Because if I click on, let's just click on one of these ads. Let's click on the Zillow ad. It's taking me to property because that's what I want to see. So make sure that you have something similar, because if there's a hang up, you're going to lose people on the way to it. Let's take a look at this one, right? You could just take a look at the process that each one of them has and try to keep your process very similar to that. So we've got a process for Zillow and Realtor.com, though, because right now those are the better quality leads, but they do cost quite a lot more. And we have incoming call, incoming email, because some of them still only come with email. And then we have a similar process. The difference is that these leads that come through are more ready now, right? And then we have to round robin some of these because, like I said, we want them to get to an agent as quickly as possible. Anything you want to add to that, Nick?
No, let's, I mean, yeah, we could have a whole webinar just on that flow chart. Let's just jump into the expectations and follow up over with Realtor.com and Zillow, which, I mean, there's Zillow and Realtor.com going to cost you a lot of money, but these are leads that are typically somebody's asking me, Jocelyn is asking,
I
where's
saw
your
that.
shirt saying this is being recorded? Oh, I forgot to wear it.
Dude,
I
what
could go
happened?
get it.
Yeah, I think we'll be done by then. By the time you find it,
Crap.
2 more
I
minutes.
forgot. Next time I'm going to wear it. So realtor.com, Zillow, OpCity, Ojo, those are mostly ready to pull the trigger leads. And that's
Yeah.
why they cost an arm and a leg. You're paying accordingly. You're paying $8 for a lead that you're going to have to nurture for a year or so with Facebook. You're paying $25-30 a lead for a lead that is a little bit more ready than Facebook, but not quite as ready as Zillow for Google. And then you're
Mhm.
paying, in some instances, hundreds of dollars for
Yeah.
Zillow and realtor.com. But the conversion rate, if you're quick, and if you're exclusive in a zip code, and you have a automatic follow-up, or you have an ISA, or you use a conversion monster, the conversion rate can definitely be much higher because those people are clicking a button that says schedule a showing, which is very, very, very purposeful.
Yeah. Dude,
Another good thing about Google that we didn't mention, sorry, I just want to go back, and people are purposeful with Google too, because they're sitting down at a computer and typing in homes for sale in Detroit, Michigan.
yeah.
So it's more purposeful too. Whereas
Think
with
of the intent.
Facebook, less
Yeah.
purposeful because they're scrolling through their news feed and you came to them. They didn't come to you. I just wanted to get that out of there.
No, dude, that's right on. I think the intent, think of intent. When I was in law school, they would always tell me, think of the intent behind the crime. Is there one, or was it a crime of passion, like instant?
What is the motive?
What is the motive? Think of now the same thing on Facebook versus Google. If you go on Facebook, the intent, according to research, is I'm going to Facebook and Instagram and social to look at my friends. What are they doing? To look at my family. What are they doing? Right? Or to look at news. What's the latest? I'm not looking at property.
Yeah.
Versus going to Google. I go to Google and I type in homes for sale in Malibu, California, around Pepperdine University, close to the beach. It's massive intent. This is why it's closer to the bottom of the funnel, right? That's our whole point on this.
Yeah. Nobody opens Facebook and goes, I think I'm going to look for houses today on Facebook. Like, nobody does that.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I put up a link to one of our blogs that talks about things you should focus on. Nick also posted up something. If you have any questions on just what it is that we do, or you want more information on the organization, we're here to help you out. What's
Hey,
John's
John's
question?
asking a great question. What is a recommended foundational tech stack? That's a great question. Yeah. So, I mean, you need to have a good CRM, first of all. You're going to get a standalone CRM like Follow Up Boss and Lion Desk and connect it to, a website of your choosing, or you can get an all-in-one marketing platform like KV Core or Chime and get the CRM and the website together. A lot of these platforms now have AI built in, like Chime has AI follow-up. KV Core has smart plans. Someone was asking about Command. Command has some smart plans too. Follow Up Boss has smart plans. The only downside to Follow Up Boss is that they don't have the ability to automate texting, but you can leave like notes and reminders to do that. So you need a good CRM with a website. You need something for follow-up. You can use AI, or you can use follow-up pre-written plans with a product called Agent Legend, which we really like. It just depends also on how much you have to spend, because AI can be much more expensive than just automating text messages that you then have to manually reply to. Anything you want to add to that? Because it can be complicated and overwhelming.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I had a little bit more time to think about it while Nick was talking.
Right. So my answer was probably just so.
It's not fair, but here's what I came up with while Nick was talking. So Nick, It's gonna be more structured, but it's not your
Good.
fault.
I should have
First,
gone last.
I should have gone last. First, definitely a CRM, but
Check.
a CRM that hopefully is like Follow Up Boss, that gives you access to smart plans that allows you to connect with your clients long term, and also allows you to connect other pieces to it, because the CRM is one. Number two would be a transaction management software. I know Command's got one built in. Chime works with other ones. Follow Up Boss works well with Open to Close and many other ones. So look at some type of transaction management software. Number three would be website or IDX. In our cases, we use Ylopo's IDX and Chimes, and Conversion has got one as well. Fourth would be your tech stack needs to include social media and social media management. Decide where you show up the most. Is it Instagram, Facebook? And if it's Facebook, then are you using ads like I showed on the back end and building these ads, right? Number five would be communication or collaboration tools, which would mean, how are you communicating with your clients? Is it by email through a newsletter? Is it through Agent Legend, through a text tech piece, right? Or is it built in through Chime, through mass texting in similar ways? I think that's where you start, and then you do yourself a favor and you add, if you can, add the $20 paid version to ChatGPT OpenAI. It's openai.com, and start using that to see how you can create expanded content for your niche areas.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I mean, look, here's a little secret. It's very easy to blog now with ChatGPT.
Very true. Very
Write
true.
me a blog about Malibu, California, and what home buyers are looking for. Boom.
Yeah.
There's your
Look,
blog.
we've been expanding. Look, we've got 0 minutes left. I'm going to just show you really quick what we've been doing, what our team has been doing on the back end. So this is one of our websites on Chime, and they've been building out these daily blogs, Malibu, all about Malibu and things to do. And Trenton is doing an absolutely brilliant job getting the ideas from AI and then expanding on them and making them our words. So we're just using OpenAI to help guide us in getting us in the right direction. But that's how we're using it. We're expanding by going deeper into one niche. So there you go.
Love it. Yes, your explanation of the tech stack was slightly more descriptive.
That's because I was just listening to what you were saying. I'm like, that's a good one.
You weren't listening though, but you weren't listening. You were thinking about, no, but I mean, I said what you said in a different way.
You did.
Hey everyone. Thanks.
Somebody just logged on. Someone
just logged in and she's asking, can we share the meeting? We can't share the meeting until it's uploaded on YouTube. So you can go to the organization on YouTube, or you can visit the organization.world and it will be uploaded to the homepage of the organization. So you can watch it there. Our YouTube channel is there also. And next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Just be on the lookout. If you registered for this, we'll send you an invitation to the next webinar. Next Wednesday, same time, we're going to go over listing presentation strategies.
Ooh,
we're going to show you some listing presentations. We're going to show you what people are doing really well, so you can take some of those ideas and implement them into your own. So every Wednesday at 10:30 Pacific, 1:30 Eastern, the org will go live. And next week, we'll talk about listing presentations.
See you then, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Later.